8. I don't think anyone's ever going to beat you, brother. You are always the first one in here. Conflict's always number 2. He's always number 2. Thank you guys for being loyal. I love you guys. I appreciate you so much. How y'all doing today? Is it a good day? We taking down today? I need to grab my CSV real fast. What would 347 got you in the $100 single entry? Let's take a look if I can find it. I play so many lineups, it's like impossible to find. I think second, maybe third. Yeah, dude, I got so many entries. It's gonna be impossible for me to find. It would have been second or third though. Giving everybody a minute to get in here. You guys are in, let me know, and we will get the show started. There's a lot more green than there is gray on my page. I cannot find it. I played like 1,000 entries yesterday though, so. Alright, says we got 7 viewers. Let's go ahead and hop into it. Let's start out at point guard tonight. And guys, forewarning, it's all Spurs for me today. We're going to be rocking the Spurs. It's Spurs City today. At the top, Stephon Castle, looking fantastic. Only 5,300 after a 31 fantasy point game yesterday. Didn't change his price at all. Easy plug and play for me today. He's not going to be core because there's other Spurs I like more, but he's a fantastic play and I expect I'll have a ton of them. What's up, Jose? It's Aiton day, but I got a couple of pivots if you don't want to eat the Aiton chalk, but I'm going to be rocking Aiton today. Mike Conley, he's grading out well. He always grades out well, but I'm not thrilled to play him. Hasn't met value in the last 3 games. Barely met value in that 4th one. He's grading out well, but not a guy I'm going to have in single entry. CP3, he's totally fine today, grading out well. I expect a 30-plus fantasy point game from him today. But if you're only playing one Spur at your point guard position, I prefer Castle for cheaper today. Colin Sexton, he's grading out pretty well. Don't mind him. Had some down games lately. I feel like I can never trust Sexton, but the numbers like him. I'm going to manually just bring him down a little bit there so I don't get as much. Now here's a guy that's pulling way too much damn ownership. I liked him till I seen his ownership. 37% is crazy for Tyrese Halliburton. He's got the upside, don't get me wrong, but he has been struggling with his shot all year long. And I know the Bulls, great matchup, great game environment, but I don't know if I can trust him. And I hate playing guys that are priced above 8K that I can't trust. It's like rolling a craps dice and, hoping you land on a 7. We got some kind of news. Taurean Prince is a game time decision. He's sick, and Antetokounmpo will play. Jalen Suggs is fine. Priced about where he should be. I would rather get to Keontae George over Colin Sexton today if I want a Jazz guard. Can't trust him either, but I trust him a little more than Sexton. TJ McConnell is perfectly fine. Don't mind him. Drew, he's okay. But guard kind of sucks today. If I had to take a flyer on anyone, it's D'Lo. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you guys I'm playing like LeBron's going to set. We may get that news. We may not get that news. I think he's going to set. I hope he sets because one of my favorite plays of the day is Anthony Davis. LeBron sets, AD's going to eat. But D'Lo, if LeBron sets, is perfectly viable. Going to bump that projection some if we get that news before lock. Curry should play. He's fine. Everybody after him is just MME, but I know they bumped his price $5,900 Ayo. He destroyed the slate yesterday. Kobe White is questionable, and LaMelo Ball is questionable, and Josh Giddey is questionable, and I said LaMelo, I meant Lonzo, and Zach LaVine is questionable. If all those guys are out, Ayo is a lock for me. Now, we're not going to get that news before lock, more than likely. So, I want to be overweight on Ayo and hope and pray that those guys are out. You said LeBron's in? Don't tell me that. You're going to ruin my day like that? Yeah, he's in. Expected to play. I still like AD a lot today, though. But nobody else really tickles my fancy at the guard position. If you guys got questions about anybody, let me know and I'll look at them. Let's move it over to the 2, where if I had to pick my favorite, Chris Middleton, unlikely to start. Just got that news on my phone. If I had to pick my favorite pacer today, elite game environment, by the way, it's going to be Benedict Mathurin, closely followed by Obi Toppin. Capella and Johnson are the only two I really have a lot of interest in today, elite. But Mathurin's a baller, had a down game against Brooklyn, but I am happy to go to him in this spot. He one of those players that does everything, grabs boards, dishes, assists, scores, and I love those type of players. Ant's pulling too much ownership for me right now at 24%. Golden State plays elite defense, and he's been so scoring dependent this year that I just can't trust getting the Ant today. A lot of players on today's slate that I'm just not feeling like, I think Dalton Connect could be a good value today. He has hit the crapper lately, playing the minutes but doing nothing, but you're not going to find a better matchup, a better get-right spot. Only pulling 5% ownership, so I think Connect's a solid get-different play today. Sharp, he's got the upside. Don't mind him. Malik Monk, solid. Don't mind him. But none of these guys in this price range I really care much about. Giving Ayo a little boost here. And I do expect him to, recency bias, have some ownership. But, you know, is what it is. Small forward, I love Keldon Johnson today. Only 4,700. They're probably going to be without Wemby. He's doubtful. I mean, he showed you against Chicago. 34 fantasy points. Played 28 minutes. He's not my favorite Spur, but I really like him today. Jeremy Grant's grading out all right. He's come back. Good matchup against Utah. Put up 31, 33 fantasy points. But more importantly, played 35 and 37 minutes. I don't know, Elite. That was crazy. I am not expecting that, but I think I can fully get 32 to 35 from him today, and I'm happy with that. The juiciest of juicy core plays last night, Andrew Wiggins. Loved having him in my lineups. Had a couple lineups with him and Kuminga, and they exploded. Won me some money. Andrew Wiggins, he's fine today. Now, with Steph being back more than likely and Draymond being back more than likely, his production is going to come down. But I think he still has that 35 fantasy point upside, which if he gets that today, I'm happy with. You want a safe play today? It's Jalen Johnson. I'm happy if he is in my lineups. He's had like one dud game all year. You need a guy that you know is not going to let you down. Jalen Johnson's him. Like, the prototypical perfect cash game play is Jalen Johnson. Franz Wagner's price is still 9,600, and he hasn't had those huge games he was having. I don't mind him. I'm going to have him in MME, but 9,600 is a lot in a terrible game environment. I'll tell you what, Paul George might be getting overlooked, though. He's risky for sure, but I'm going to take some stabs at some Paul George today. Tatum, he's fine, but 10-4 that's an awful lot against Milwaukee. You ask about DeAndre Hunter, he's just an okay play for me today. Let's move it over to the big men. That's where I like today's slate. Sohan is a lock for sure. I'm not sure if he starts at the 5 again or not. We'll just have to see. I hope he does, because he balled yesterday, 38 fantasy points. More important to me, though, he played 36 minutes. It was just a thumb injury, so I highly doubt that it bothered his conditioning, but I'm gonna be probably the most owned Jeremy Sohan player on FanDuel tonight. My favorite play. Love AD tonight. He has been playing like crap lately. Last 2 games, 34 and 27 fantasy points. But we know that's not who he is. Gets an amazing matchup. Gonna have all the rebounds tonight. I want to be overweight on AD. Currently pulling 4% ownership. I want all the AD tonight. You telling me I can get a 4% AD? Yes, sir. Sign me up all day, every day. Yeah, they are, but I just don't like the game environment. It's going to be a very defensive game. Talked about most of these guys. I think Sabonis has great upside today. Perfect triple-double environment. They're not going to have a Wemby out there to stop Sabonis. So, I mean, if they do run Sohan at the 5, he's only 6'8". That's undersized. He can't man up Sabonis. So, I feel like they can, I really feel like that they might run Collins at center to deal with Sabonis tonight, but I thought they would yesterday to deal with Vooch too, and they didn't. He's been dealing with that like all year. Keldon a good way to get off Sohan? No, Keldon will be more owned than Sohan, I think. Yeah, Keldon right now is pulling 36% ownership, where Sohan's pulling 23%. Yeah, he's been dealing with it since November 6th. So, Siakam, perfectly fine. I love this game environment right here. So, I feel like one of the big men's going to go off. I have a slight lean towards Turner, but it could definitely be Siakam too. Yeah, Elite Dyson Daniels has really helped their perimeter defense. And I feel like Johnson is a better defender than Capella and Okongwu. Like, of course, they're bigger, but his defense is just better. Another guy I think is getting overlooked here today, I think you might like him today, 8, is John Collins. In a solid matchup with Portland here. They're not a good team. I mean, Utah isn't either, but John Collins is a bright spot on that team. He had a down game against Oklahoma City, only 22 fantasy points, but he played 31 minutes. Prior to that game, he had met value in 5 games in a row. I think John Collins is a sneaky play today. Keegan Murray's alright. You kind of know what he's going to get you, probably around 30 fantasy points. I cannot play Draymond Green ever because every time I play him, he fouls out or gets ejected. Naz Reid's a decent value. Don't mind him. One of my favorite values today, I know he's a little pricey, but he has been popping, is Obi Toppin. His last 3 games, he scored 28, 29, and 30 fantasy points, averaging, I think it's like 1.48 fantasy point per minute in that span. I don't know what's gotten into Obi Toppin, but he has wanted the ball. I want to be over the field on Obi today. If you want to play Giannis, be my guest. I will never tell anyone not to play Giannis or Tatum or AD or LeBron because they are truly matchup proof and can break the slate at any time. But he's just not grading out that great for me. We're getting a lot of news here. My phone's just blowing up. Let's check it out. Buzelis is going to play. Lonzo's going to play. And Kobe's going to play. Well, that sucks. So, Ayo's not going to look as good now. I still like him, but he's not going to look as good as he did. Yabusele could be interesting. Last I seen, Drummond was still questionable. Let's see, let's get our lineups tab here open. Yeah, Drummond's still a GTD. If Drummond is out, then Yabusele, we're going to bump him. We'll get that news before lock, though, so we'll wait on that news to see how that goes. And then at center, the man, DeAndre Ayton. Drummond is in? Dude, I swear, as soon as I talk to someone, we get the news about it. I'm not seeing anything yet, Potent. I believe you, though. At center, my favorite play, DeAndre Ayton today. The Jazz are giving up the most fantasy points to centers in the league. Ayton's a beast. I don't see how you don't like him today. He's just in a fantastic position. It does not get better for him. Yeah, let's look at our high price studs here. So, AD 10%, Giannis 5, Tatum 8, Sabonis 14, LeBron 4, Franz 14, Ant 21, Tyrese Halliburton 37. So, looks like the field's going to be playing more of an even lineup today. But looking at center, where did my boy go? Where's Ayton? There he is. Ayton looks fantastic. He does. The matchup just doesn't get better. But if you really want to pivot, you want to play the exact opposite, I like Walker Kessler today. Has met value in 4 straight games. Huge games against Denver and Dallas. Had a huge game, including 7 blocks against them last year. We know Walker is a block specialist, and the Blazers are the second most blocked team in the league. So, I'm not a prop better, but if I was, I would definitely bet on Kessler getting at least a couple blocks today, if not more. I think he is a great direct pivot from Ayton. You want to get off that 28% ownership Ayton's pulling? Walker Kessler's pulling 3%. Now, Walker always comes with risk because he's a little foul happy trying to get all those blocks, but I'm going to have some exposure in some lineups today. I might have to manually bring Vooch down just a little because I was expecting all those guys to be out. But I think he's still a solid play against Indy. Don't mind him at all. I don't know why FanDuel hasn't updated it, but Wendell Carter's been playing the 4 lately, and he's been playing better at the 4. Last 2 games, he kind of stunk it up. Only 20 minutes against New York, and against Philly last time out, he played 32 minutes but done nothing. But I don't mind going back to him here. 4,900's the cheap for a player of his caliber. I like Miles Turner a lot today. Don't mind him. But for the most part, my 2 favorites are Ayton and Kessler. They're my tier 1s. My tier 2s today are Vooch and Turner. And then it's really everybody else after them for me. Brook Lopez could show some upside against the Bucks. You guys got any questions, hit me with them, please. That's why I'm here. Got through them a little quick today. It is a 7-game slate, but just not a ton to talk about. You know? Let's see, we got some news. My phone lit up. Drummond's going to play. like Potent said. So, Yabasule doesn't look near as appealing anymore. I don't even know what I have Drum projected for. 21.28, he's been out 2 games. He's such a great fantasy point per minute producer. I gotta boost him, but I'm uncertain about his minutes. Trying to decide on which pieces I want core, because I'm gonna be honest, I really want to put Obi Toppin into the core, but he is a bit risky. But I really like Obi today at low ownership. Been playing out of his mind recently. Or I could give you a safer pick in Matherin. So that's what I'm gonna do. Here's our core, gents. We're going to start with Stefan Castle at the point. I'm going to move it over to the... Where's he at? Forgot he's only got power forward eligibility. Sohan at the 4. AD is the pay up. I just really like AD today. And you guys know I hate giving you a center, but I got to today. Aiton's just in too good of a spot. It's going to be DeAndre. And our last core piece is either going to be... It's not going to be Obi Toppin because he won't fit. He's only power forward too. Obi's only pulling 4% owned. Only 4% owned. It's insane. Our last core piece will be Matherin just because he's safer. I like him. So that's our core. Let's run it. I'm going to drop it in the Discord. Also, if you guys are not in our Discord, it is in the chat. It is linked below in the description. I post all of our plays in the DFS Premium chat, and occasionally I'll post free ones. Probably going to do a free one tomorrow night. So, I'm looking at that screen right now. As soon as I'm done, we will go over the lineups that it has built for us. The more I look, I'm probably going to get a lot of Tyrese Halliburton tonight just because of the way the builds are going. I'm okay with it, but I want to be a little bit under the field. The field's at 37%. I would rather be around 25 to 30. Yeah, I think that would be where I want to be at. Harrison Barnes ownership. So I'm not sure if Barnes starts today. I think they try to start Zach Collins and move Barnes out of the starting lineup, but I could be totally wrong. They could run the exact same lineup they did yesterday. Line Star thinks they are as well. My thought was Sohan goes to the 4, Collins goes to the 5, Barnes is on the bench. But like I said, I could be totally wrong about that. But let's look at old Harry Barnes. He's pulling 10%. Yeah, I replied to you, Don. I like it. I'm not huge on Halliburton today. I'm going to play him, don't get me wrong. But I don't want to have as much ownership as the field does. I also prefer AD over LeBron today, but that's just me. But let's look at these builds we got with this core, right? So, I like the first one. You get Halliburton and Suggs with AD. So, you got the star power in there. Getting a lot of Jeremy Grant. I'm okay with it. I don't mind McConnell. I'm not going to be playing McConnell in single entry, but I will have him in MME for sure, without a doubt. Like, I haven't set my exposures or anything yet, but let me just run one and see how much McConnell I'm getting. Not as much as I thought. I'm getting 6% in 150 lineups, so. And Gabe Vincent. I got him projected for 11.5 fantasy points. I guess he is getting a little more run than I thought. He's a .60 fantasy point per minute player, so give him a small boost, but I doubt he makes it into any of my lineups today. Let's swap over to DK. I know we got a lot of DK players in here. Oh, I thought my phone went off. It didn't. I'm not going to go over every position, but I will say I love D-Lo today, even with LeBron in. 5,400 on DK, far too cheap. Might make the core again. Drew Holiday's super cheap over there. Halliburton being pretty much the same price as Criminal, so if you get Halliburton over there, I see why you're getting him. I still want to be under the field, though. Yeah, like I said, Elite, I'm getting him 6%, and I'm perfectly fine with that. 2 guards, Stephon Castle, instant lock for me today. Too easy, 4,800. I mean, it's just Criminal. He should not be $4,800. That's ridiculous. Easy, lock him in. Dottie, stop. My dog's getting into something. It's going to be Spurs City for me over on DK today. They're just all underpriced. KCP's fine. Who would I like between DiVincenzo and Null? Null, but I don't want either one of those guys at all. Dottie, stop. Straight up, DiVincenzo, I project him for more fantasy points. He's 3%, Null's 4%, but yeah, I wouldn't want either one of them. Over on DK, a little different story because of price. Null might fit, but just give me Kentavious Caldwell-Pope for the same price. Yeah, exactly, Elite. I feel the same way. I wouldn't want him. I like Malik Monk over on DK too quite a bit. Small forward, Keldon Johnson. He's easy, just lock him in. He's a lock for me on DK. Harry Barnes looking all right. I don't mind Zachary Risher either at 3,900. That's so cheap for a guy that's going to get run. At the power forward spot, Obi Toppin, locked and loaded for me. Core piece, easy. Sohan, love him over on DK as well. I want a bunch of him. And at center, Clint Capella is just too cheap. You got to play some Clint Capella over on DK today. I'm not saying he's a lock, but I'm going to have a ton of him on DK myself. So, Sohan is not a lock for me on DK, but he is. Like, not officially, but I'm probably going to have 100% of him. I started writing the core in the Discord before I gave it to you guys. Easy peasy. Give me Stephon Castle. Give me Keldon Johnson. Give me Obi Toppin. And that last core piece, who's it going to be? I really want to go with D'Lo. I like D'Lo a lot today. That's who it's going to be. I don't think Dyson Daniels is going to be guarding D'Angelo Russell today, so that doesn't worry me. So that's our DK core. Let's run it while I put it in the Discord. Wemby a GTD now? I don't think Wemby plays. Surely Wemby don't play. There is the core in the Discord, fellas. Let's see what kind of lineups we're getting. So, look at what we're getting, guys. Like, come on. With that core, it's so cheap. It's so cheap. We get 4 guys I would say are excellent plays today. That first one, I love. You get Vooch. I would have liked him a little more if Kobe White were out. And maybe Levine, Giddey. Halliburton, who I want to be under the field on today, but single entry, I'm still going to play him. Bit risky, I'm still playing him. Jalen Johnson, who I would trust in every lineup I ever built for the rest of my life. He is Mr. Dependable. And Sohan, who I told you guys, kind of a bonus core piece for me today. He's going to be in all my DKs. This is just terrific. I love the way these builds are going. I would like to get some AD in here, but if it's not possible, it's not possible. You know? Wimby game time decision now. Looks like Giddy's in, Levine's in, Wimby GTD now. Yeah, makes me want to throw up. I don't think he plays. Surely he doesn't play, right? He's been doubtful all day. Come on now. Oops. I'm going to manually reduce Vooch another point since everybody's in. Let me do that over on DK. Probably going to get less of him now. Let's rerun it. Where's my guy at? Where's my guy? I forgot he's only center eligible. AD's my guy today, man. I don't know why. Just woke up. Was like, it's going to be an AD day. So we're still getting, even with the reduced, we're still getting this first lineup. Still like it. But this third lineup, that's where I would be at. Give me that all day. Even that fourth one looks good, but this third one, the only question mark I have is Mo Wagner, who's been a beast lately. Shoot. How do I like Ant, not the one on the Wolves? I didn't know there was another Ant. What other Ant is there? Somebody help me out. Somebody fill me in. Who's the other Ant? I don't know why the delay is so bad streaming to YouTube. For you newer guys, I used to stream on Twitch, but I started YouTube because it's more accessible to everyone. Not everyone has a Twitch account. And it was instantaneous over there. Instantaneous. But here, it is ridiculous. The delay is insane. And Simons? And Bernie Simons? He's fine, but, I mean, he always worries me. He's pretty scoring dependent, but he has huge upside. He's one of those risky plays, like, he will win you a tournament, or he will lose you a tournament on his own. I never knew his nickname was Ant, though. There's only one Ant in my heart. That's Anthony Edwards. And he has done nothing for me this year, betting-wise. We got a starting lineup here. That's what I was looking at on my phone just now. It's going to be the Sixers, rocking Maxey, Oubre, George, Yabusele, and Drummond. Very interesting lineup here. I think Yabusele is still in play, but Drummond being there really limits his rebound upside. But I'm telling you guys, I want to be overweight on Paul George tonight. I'm not saying he's a lock, but I'm going to be playing more Paul George than the field is. I can guarantee you that. Let's see here, Mr. Paul. Got him at 34.71. I want to boost him up a little bit. I want to get more Paul George. Give me the Paul George in my life. Russell Castle, Jalen Johnson, Obi, Simons, Keldon, Sohan. Yeah, if he's the last guy into what you got right there, I'm happy with him. Like I said, you do got to be a little cautious and understand that, and Tatum, and understand that he is one of those guys, huge upside, super low floor. But those are the guys I like to play. Those are the guys that win you tournaments, right? Stars and scrub day for you. I think you'll be different today playing that way because I think most of the field is going with a more balanced build today. So I think that is a great approach if you want to get different today. And sweetheart, I know you're watching the stream, my beautiful wife. Sorry I haven't texted you back. I'm trying to do all this, you know. LeBron will play it, just came across my phone. You know how to make a grown man sad, LeBron. Now I gotta add you back into my player pool. What is Paul George's ownership? Let's take a look here. 9%. Higher than I thought, for sure. There she is. We live and we die by Obi Toppin today. Who names their kid Obi? It's like Opie, but with a B. Obi. No updated news so far, gents. How's the building going? Let me know, let me know. We got about 20 minutes before lock. 20 minutes before we start. Winning money. That's what we do. We win money. You pulling my hair out? Why? Russell Brown Tatum. Keldon, Ayton, Castle, Obi, Sochan. I like that one too, but I have a thing where I don't like playing superstars that are on the same team. So, for instance, like, I don't like playing LeBron and AD together. I don't like playing Brown and Tatum together. I don't like playing George and Maxey together, and so on, because there's only so much usage to go around, right? One person can score the basketball per possession. Now, yes, you have assists and whatnot, but I want my star to be able to soak up that ownership, or that usage, I mean. And a good example of that is like Tyrese Halliburton tonight. He's the best player on his team by far. End of story. So he's going to get the run, right? Who would you take out and who would you swap, do I think? Let me take a look at DK. So, what do you have Tatum in the small forward or power forward position? And do you have Brown in the shooting guard or small forward position? Yeah, I would prefer to keep Brown if it were me. If it were me, I would prefer to keep Brown. But what position do you have Tatum in? That's who I would want to swap off of, just purely because of ownership. I think Tatum's a better basketball player, barely, but they're both great. Just looking at the ownership numbers for me. And Brown's grading out as a better value for me, really. Okay, you got Tatum at the small forward position for $10K. Honestly, I would swap to Franz Wagner. I mean, you can see on the screen here, he is $500 cheaper, but he's only projecting for 2 fantasy points less, and I think he has the exact same upside. And it's what I was just talking about. He's the superstar on his team. Suggs is the clear number 2, but, I mean, he's a clear usage monster. I would like Franz Wagner if it's me, and he's 11% owned compared to Tatum's 15, and that gives you an extra $500 to swap off anyone else you didn't like in that lineup. But I honestly like them all. I wouldn't swap off anyone in there. Why am I getting Bryce Sensabaugh? Nimard could be interesting today. I don't really want to play him, but if he starts today, very interesting play right there. I do not want it. Banton. I guess he's alright. I do not want Lonzo at all. I do not really care for Max Christie, but I guess he's got the upside. Yeah, see, that's the thing with Franz. It's the game environment, right? Like, I love Franz as a player, but you're kind of stuck in your build. At small forward, that's what you got, brother. Another thing you could do, if you wanted, is you could move Jaylen Brown to the small forward, and then you could pick up Anthony Edwards over at the shooting guard position. I mean, I got Franz projected for more fantasy points than Anthony Edwards, but you're really stuck. You don't have anyone else to pivot to other than Franz or Ant. And, I mean, they both got pretty bad matchups. But Franz, he does a little bit of everything. He grabs boards, he gets assists, steals, blocks. So I trust him more than I do Ant, who's been a lot more scoring dependent this year. Where do you got Sohan? Is he in your utility spot? Because if you could put Sohan at the power forward spot, you took, oh no, you had Tatum at the small forward. Never mind. What about Keldon? Yeah, that's what you do right there, okay? Yes, 8. Take Keldon out of the power forward spot, put him in the small forward spot. In that power forward spot you had open, put Sohan in it. That's going to open up your utility spot. And from there, I think it's got to be LeBron. Unless you got the extra 200 for AD, who I have projected for more, but LeBron's looking really good today. It's got to be LeBron. LeBron or AD, one of the two. My pick is AD, but the projections like LeBron more. Got any news? Let's see here. What we got? AD available to play. Thank you for letting us know what we already knew. I'm getting so much Jeremy Grant. I don't like that. Like, I don't mind him as a play today. I just don't want 39% of him. I just seen your text said you're ordering pizza for dinner, babe. I like the sound of that. I'm hungry. I'm very hungry. 13 minutes to lock. Get those lineups in, ladies and gentlemen. It's like every lineup I get Halliburton, it has Grant in it. Gotta trust him today since the projections do, right? Can't bet with our heart. How much LeBron am I getting? 35? I can live with that. We can live with that. Mo Wagner or Okongwu on DK? It would be Mo for me, I can tell you without even looking. But I think Okongwu might be a bit safer. But Mo's just got a monster upside, brother. I actually got Mo in my DK build. "10 minutes to lock. You got those questions. Hit me with them. That is why I'm here." Go Russell, Monk, Keldon, Sohan, Vooch, Castle, Obi, LeBron. I like that. That's a solid build. Could you get... I assume you could get the Ayton from Vooch. I just don't like everybody being ruled in for Vooch. Vooch is a monster. He's still got the upside, but man, he would look so much better if everybody was ruled out. Who could you move up to off of Monk if you got Ayton? Look at the pricing here. 8,400. What is Ayton? 6,800. Massive difference there. Massive difference. You can play whoever you wanted at the two. If you went Ayton over Vooch, you could probably get to JB in that lineup off Monk. Which I like Monk, don't get me wrong. It's just, I'm always going to feel uneasy paying 7K for Monk. Hey, you guys like the chill vibes music we got going here? Is that good or no? I wish I could play copyrighted music, but I can't. I'm gonna puke it. Now I'm invested. I'm curious. I'm interested. Paul George's ownership is, I think it was 9%. Yep, that's what it is, 9%. I think we're going to take down today. I think that's what's going to happen. Done. I think somebody in the syndicate is taken down today. I just got a good feeling about today, gents. Played AD over LeBron. I like them both today. I have a personal slight lean to AD, but LeBron looks great too. LeBron's dead to you? A lot of people have said that, but hey, I don't like him, but I'm not one to disrespect game. He's one of the greatest to ever play. He's not the greatest, but one of them. Top 3. MJ, Kobe, LeBron. Top 3 all time. Let's argue. I just want to look at something here. What would happen if I locked Obi? Probably not going to play it. I'm curious. Oh, Iverson was a beast. I loved watching AI, man. Him and White Chocolate, my 2 favorite point guards just to watch. Giannis, AD, and Tatum the new. Dude, I don't know what kind of, like, woo. You got some weird dudes in your lineup to be rocking those 3, boss. You got a weird lineup, brother. But to be honest, I mean, I'm not that different in my single entry. I got a line with Halliburton. This line right here. Halliburton, Ant, LeBron. A little cheaper, but, you know. Don't say that. Don't tell me there's 4 minutes to lock. Oh my god, I've lost track of time. I did. Hey, after lock, you gotta send it to me. I want to see that one. I want to see that one, brother. Hey, just a heads up for you guys, there will be no show Sunday. I will not be here. No show Sunday. Yeah, you've got to show us that one, bro. I'm so interested. Looks like I'm gonna have Anthony Davis in both of my DK lineups. Yep, I'm only rocking 2 DK lineups today. Taking it easy on myself. DK's been rough for me the last week or so. It's weird. I am so much better at NBA on FanDuel than I am on DK. But it's the opposite for NFL. I'm way better on DK at NFL than I am FanDuel. 2 minutes to lock. Let's look at the ownership. Where's ownership going tonight? Benedict Mathurin, 37%. Keldon Johnson, 37%. Halliburton, 37%. Chris Paul, 34%. Ayton, 26%. Siakam, 24%. Mike Conley with 20%. Castle with 20%. Sohan with 20%. Sabonis, 18%. Grant, 18%. AD, 17.5%. Ant 17. McConnell pulling 16.3. That's wild. He has the upside though, so like I understand the play. Dude is a monster when he gets the minutes. LeBron. Mo Wagner pulling 11% owned on FanDuel. Crazy work. Love him on DK, but on FanDuel, it's a lot tougher to get him. A lot more wonderful pieces in play today for me over on DK. Or, sorry, on FanDuel. Well, then, we're out, guys. Good luck. And if you have any questions, I'm available 24/7 in the Discord. All you have to do is @ me. So, that's for everybody, not just premium users. If you need help, please @ me, and I'm happy to help you and answer any questions you may have. It is linked in the chat and in the description down below in the video. I cannot say thank you guys enough for supporting me. I appreciate you, and if you need any help, I'm here, guys. Good luck.